Okay, I want y'all to check this video out right quick. You know, this right here is they're bringing out a lot of truth in this video. This is about Africa being the true land of the Bible, the true land of Israel, which some of you know as Israel, which is biblically still another name, but we're not going to get into all that. But let's check this video out, because this right here, this video shows that the information is starting to breach our people back on the continent, right? So let's check it out.
So Al-Kabelan is what Africa used to, the name Africa used to have. So it says Al-Kabelan is an ancient name for Africa that means mother of mankind. Or garden of Eden. Yes. So they've messed up that garden. Wait, hold up. You're saying Africa. Okay. 1, 2. You're saying Africa was originally called Al-Kabelan, which means Garden of Eden, and means.
Now, just to clear something up, from what I know, the entire landscape of Africa is not the Garden of Eden. But the one thing that he is correct about is that the Garden of Eden is on the continent of Africa, in that region, in which they have tried to hide that. But not only is it where the Garden of Eden is, but it's also the true land of Israel, the Most High, righteous and holy land, which he have given to his people. But let's go and see the rest of the information that he brings out.
Mother of what was the mother thing again? Mother of mankind. And that's where the 4 rivers are: Euphrates, Tigris, Edekel, Pison. I mean, those 4 rivers. That's it, right there. So why did they change everything? Because they need your land, they need your resources. I've never even heard of any of this before.
Right.
I think that people need to begin to decolonize their Christianity in that sense, because they need to begin to understand that the people of the book deserve to know the truth, right?
See what he said right there? The people of the book need to know the truth. And right there, he's talking about the true people of the book. The black people, us Negroes. Now, not every black person on the continent of Africa is a Negro, which in terms is an Israelite. But we are on the continent of Africa, which a great deal of the portion of that land is the Most High's land. That's what we have to understand. And he said people need to de-Christianize themselves from Christianity, which is very true. And a lot of people get offended when they hear people say de-Christianize ourselves. What does that supposed to mean? Is because Christianity is a religion, and Christianity was added to the Bible. But when you go back to the oldest Bibles, the word Christianity was not in the Bible. That was a term that was added. Originally, Christianity was an insult to the Israelite people when it became when they moved it from the Eastern perspective to the Western perspective. It became a watered down version of what Christianity represented in the beginning, which was to follow the ways of the Israelites. So we're not supposed to be Christians. Christianity does not teach what the scriptures is talking about. So that's really what he's saying, right? Let's keep watching.
In my opinion, and also we're thinking that if and when these things get out, hopefully it should reduce the number of sentimental sympathizers that Israel has. I call it is not real, not Israel.
Not Israel. They are not the people of the Most High. They are not the people of the Most High, which is referenced in the Bible. If people truly understand it, when we go to say, my people have been lost and destroyed, but he shall bring us back as a nation of people and put us back together. And he tells you that those people who are in that fake land, because that land up there is not the true land. It's a fake land. It's a fake people, and that's also where the fake Messiah is going, who is the Antichrist. So all of it is fake, and it's placed there for people who refuse to serve the Most High, so that they can believe a lie. That is being done by the Most High for people who refuse to serve Him. So you're going to be following all this fakeness and be led to your destruction. That's what's going on. So yeah, that is a fake people, not the people of the Most High.
So I call it Israel because that land is 40 times smaller than Egypt. So you don't believe that that's the real? Not. Because God told them in the book of Exodus that He's taking them, because they've been oppressed in Egypt, He's taking them to a land that is more spacious and then that is fertile. Mm-hmm. But then that Israel we have, or that is not real we have there today, is a barren land. Generally, they have to do a lot of irrigation to make it work. And secondly, it's much smaller, because Egypt is about 1 million square kilometers. Some people can fact check this straight away. Just don't want to keep going back and forth into screens. There needs to be those that are currently sympathizing for the land in the Middle East, right? If they could, we need to reduce those amount of people, you see, so that they can turn their sympathy to the people that really deserve it in that sense. Many, like a lot of Christians, since I was born, a lot of Christians believe that, those are the chosen people. Those are the special people. Yes, they're called Ashkenazi Jews, most of them. And the name Ashkenaz, for example, is a son of Gomer. Is under the tribe of Japheth. You see, so that in itself disqualifies them from that. Also, the land, like I said, is 40 times 25,000 square kilometers. Egypt is 1 million square kilometers. So when they were crossing, they didn't cross the Red Sea. They crossed the Reed Sea. There's so many things out there.
What we have to understand is that what they have done, they have. Not only have they changed the names of the people in the Bible, but they also have changed the names of the locations in the Bible. So a lot of this stuff that we are reading are not the true names and locations, of those places. When it said Red Sea, believe you me, it was not called the Red Sea in that time. It was called something else. And this is what he's explaining in so many ways, right? That's what he's trying to relate to her right now. And we have to understand that too. They'll switch things around. They'll switch every location that you think it is today. That is not the original location or the original name of that place. Just like they switched the names, and locations also. Okay, it wasn't just a one-way thing. These people knew what they were doing, and they did it to the max. They are very crafty people. So, we have to go back and do our fact checking, our research, and truly get the right understanding about the right names and the locations, so that we will know where we have erred at and went wrong at, and have our history, replaced with the truth. Are you saying those are not the real Israel?
Yeah, they're not. Because when they were leaving Egypt, the scripture says they crossed the Red Sea, the Sea of Yom Suf, the Sea of Reeds, and that is the Nile. Because reeds cannot grow in the Red Sea. The Red Sea is a very salty water body. Yeah. And then when they were crossing the Red Sea, it says an east wind blew. And when an east wind blows, it blows from east to west, you see. And then it means their crossing must have been from the east to the west into the.
And while he's explaining it, I'm glad he's bringing it out like that, right? Because where he's going and where he's getting at is that instead of we saying that our people, the true people of the book, crossed over from west to east. No, it was not. They crossed over from east to west. So they did not cross over into that land, and that was the land of Yisrael. They crossed over into Africa, in which Africa was the true land of Yisrael. I did a video on it, and it goes a lot into depth, and it will show you from history and by the true locations that is exactly what happened.
Continent. So if you don't believe that the Israel of today is the biblical Israel. Yes. Who do you believe the biblical Israel Sub-Saharan African people. And then the question is,
true.
if, for you to, just to answer that question again, the relevance of what we're discussing, if it is not that important, then why does the United Nations, the United States spend so much time and resources to keep that lie there? Right. Which again boils down back to what I'm saying, the season we're in. It's the season of that deception. Yes. So why do they spend so much money to maintain that propaganda and that lie that that's the people, and then the government of Nigeria, for example, spend millions of naira, maybe billions, to fund pilgrimages to that place, and it's not the place. It's not the right place. It's not the right people.
And also, if you go back and you check history, before they made that land the designated place of the modern day Israel, they tried to I think it was either I think it was Kenya, it might have been Uganda, it was one of them. But they tried to, they was going to actually make one of those two places and say that was the land of Israel before they designated that place to be the land of Israel. But I guess they decided it was too many of our people in the area, and that people would figure it out quicker, and they didn't want people to figure that out. So they moved the designated area, which they had picked at first, and moved it up into that region, which we know as Northeast Africa, right? So this is not just Northeast Africa, but the Middle East. Some of us know it as Northeast Africa, and most people know it as the Middle East. But that is not the land of our people. If you do the proper research, you will find that out. And I just want to throw out there also, for those of you who need this information, go into the scriptures and look up Revelations 2:9 and 3:9, which goes deeper into prophecy to say that they are not the people, but he knows how his real people, his chosen people, are being treated. And that these people who are in the land claiming to be his people, which is us, the Negroes of the Bible, the true Israelites, that he sees our tribulation and our poverty and everything that we're going through as a people, and that he will uplift us, and that those people are the synagogue of Satan, and that he will destroy them and make them come and bow down and worship before our feet.
You're blowing my mind. I understand. There is a river called River Pra here. Have you heard of River Pra in Ghana? No. This is the river Euphrates. How did we come to that conclusion that this river Niger is? We've got the references I, S1, O, and P. So Alkebulan is what Africa used to... How? So Alkebulan is...
So I like the fact that he brought out that information. I like the fact that this information is reaching our people on the continent. Man, it makes me feel so happy inside. But a lot of you need to listen to this video, for those of you who don't know, and go and research this information on your own. Get the knowledge, get the understanding. Wake up, open up your eyes. There's a lot more going on than what you realize. And you need to understand the real truth. And you need to grab hold to it and rebuild your relationship with the Most High, and understanding this information, because it's important and it absolutely matters in every way.